this is Brian with ActiveMelody.com. Well, this week's lesson I think is going to be a breakthrough for a lot of you, especially those of you that have struggled with playing in modes. Or maybe you've tried it in the past, or maybe you don't even know what modal playing is. We're going to take a look at one of the 7 modes, or 7 different modes. We're going to take a look at the Dorian mode. And I thought, what better way to showcase the Dorian mode than to learn a lot of Carlos Santana licks. So we've got everything that I played in the intro. I'm going to show you how to do all of that. Note for note, we'll break down a lot of very signature Carlos Santana licks, and you've got a jam track to practice with, and then the tablature and all of that's available as well for premium members. As an extra bonus for a premium member, I've got another video that goes into a little more detail on where the Dorian mode comes from. I'm going to cover it in this video, so we're going to touch on it so you'll know how to play the notes in it, but that one goes into a little more into the weeds a little bit more. I wanted to leave it out of this and create a separate video for that. So I've got this lesson split into 2 parts. In this video we're going to take a look at the first half of the solo. If you'd like to watch the second half, as well as that bonus video, and as well as the tablature and the MP3 jam track for this lesson, you get all of that, you're going to want to check out EP178, that's a lesson number for this lesson, over at ActiveMelody.com. Just go to the lessons section and do a search for EP178. Alright, let's jump into this Carlos Santana Dorian mode lesson. Alright, so let's jump into this. Now, I did create that extra video, and I mentioned that in the intro. This is for premium members, but I go into a lot more detail on modes and where they come from, just to give you that background. And I'll show you how to play this Dorian mode in different keys and how to find it and get to it quickly. But let me give you just a quick little, that's the detail version. This is going to be the 30,000 foot view, but I'll give you just a little nugget here so that we can jump into this. Now, there's different ways you can look at modes. This is an easy way to do it. This is the way that I like to do it. I like to tie it back to that minor pentatonic scale. Now, if you don't know what I mean when I say minor pentatonic scale, it's just a common scale. It's probably the most common scale for guitar players, particularly when you're playing blues and rock. But there's a blues lead course that's available at Active Melody. Go through the 5 different patterns. We're going to be in pattern 1 right now, so I'm going to assume you know that. Okay, so pattern 1, we're going to be in the key of C. Now this song is a minor song. It's got a minor feel to it. It starts with a C minor chord. So we're going to be playing this C minor pentatonic scale. It's a perfect scale for this. But when we talk about Dorian mode, it's different. It sounds more sophisticated, more jazzy, more advanced. And the reason for that is because of 2 notes. There's 2 extra notes that are added to the minor pentatonic scale. And the reason I chose Carlos Santana is because he's kind of a master at this. I think he's one of the best when it comes to really utilizing that Dorian mode. And so what we're going to do, let's look at those notes in the minor pentatonic scale. We have 5 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are the 5 notes. And then they just repeat. Now, let's add these 2 extra notes. This is all you have to do to convert this C minor pentatonic scale to the C Dorian mode. Here we go. We're going to add the first note right here. So we're starting here on this, the 8th fret 6th string, and then we're going to go to the 10th fret 6th string. That's your first extra note. Okay? Now we're just going to keep up the minor pentatonic scale. Here's the second one we're going to add. Now in this case, it's on the 7th fret 4th string. Then we're to the 8th fret 4th string, and then we are up here to the 10th fret on the 4th string. So let's look at those 2 notes. 1, there's the first one. 2. Now what's cool about this, what I just did here on the 4th string, is we can take that same pattern and apply it to the 3rd string. Look at this. So now we have... And then watch this, we're going to do a similar pattern on string 2 and 1 as well. So now we're going to go to the 8th fret 2nd string, and then we're going to play 10th fret 2nd string, 11th fret 2nd string. So now the pattern changed a little bit. You can see the difference. But we're going to take that pattern and apply it to the E string, or the 1 string. So now we have this little guy and this one, which look the same, and then we have this one and this one. that look the same. So what we've done now is we've added on those 2 extra notes. Even though it seems like there's a lot more, it's really just 2 notes. I'm playing them in a lower octave and a higher octave. And those 2 notes open up your playing possibilities by a pretty great percentage. We've gone from 5 to 7, which is a big jump in terms of variables. So now you can start to color your playing in a more sophisticated way. So now take a minor song. Now this works on a minor song. So like if it's in a minor key, find anything in a minor key and start to apply some of these extra notes that you've got, and you'll see how it totally gives you a different feel. Another cool thing you can do is you can resolve on some of the notes. You know, a note like that, you would never think to resolve on that. You know, if you're just living in minor pentatonic mode, but if you do, you get a very different feel. It sounds kind of jazzy, kind of bluesy, and somewhere in between. Okay, so that's your background. And I go into a little more detail in the other video. All right, so now we're going to take a look at the song. So let's start by counting it in. So if I gave a 4 count, you go 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this is where the measure 1 starts. You have 1, 2, 3. So it comes in, that little slide comes in on the 4 of the first measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? And you'll hear that in the jam track. This will make a lot more sense if you're playing with the jam track. But I'm starting there on the 8th fret, 4th string, and I'm sliding up to the 10th fret on the 4th string. And I'm using a ring finger for that. Again, just in your mind, be visualizing minor pentatonic scale, pattern 1. So that's where we're at. And then watch this. So this little lick, very Santana-y. It's got the little trill. So we're gonna, from here, we're gonna come up to 7th fret, 3rd string, 8th fret, 3rd string, and then we're gonna go. So hammer on, pull off, hammer on, hammer on, pull off, hammer on. So that hammer on and pull off is happening between the 8th fret and the 7th fret here on the 3rd string. And then I come on down and hammer on to the 10th fret, 4th string. So let's back up from the beginning. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, from that note, the 4th string on the 10th fret, we come down to the 8th fret, 4th string. And you can see these notes. They make sense to you now, hopefully, now that you've got the background that we're in this Dorian mode. Minor pentatonic scale, 2 extra notes. Okay, after I play this, then I went and did a hammer on between the 8th fret and the 10th fret on the 3rd string. Just like that. Gave it some vibrato. Okay, so 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, and then I came in and went, and look at that. We're taking advantage of those extra notes. So now I'm starting on the 7th fret, 4th string, to the 8th fret, 4th string, using my pinky to come up here to the 10th fret, 4th string. And then there's the 7th fret, 3rd string. There's the 8th fret, 3rd string. It's a great little run right there. If you walk away with nothing else, just take that phrase. So if you're playing something in a minor key, you could do a lot just with those notes. So every one of these little phrases that you're learning, these are new words. You're learning almost like a new language in a way. Okay, from here I went, did the little trill again. Same trill. All right, let's back up from the beginning. It's hard to put this in context without that backing track, but here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, there's the trill again, down to the 7th fret, or down to the 8th fret, 4th string. Then I come back to the 10th fret, 4th string, And then I take my middle finger and go to the 10th fret 5th string and hit that note. Again, notes right out of that minor pentatonic scale. And that's the timing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and now we're going to come up and play. Great lick. Every one of these licks are great little takeaways. Look at this one. Now here's what I'm doing. I'm going ahead and barring the first 3 strings here on the 8th fret. And then I'm playing string 3, hitting it twice. Then I'm using my ring finger to come up to the 11th fret 2nd string. Take my finger off. So that's behind the bar here on the 8th fret. Put it down on the 10th fret 2nd string. Middle finger comes down on the 10th fret 3rd string. That might be a little tricky getting those 2 fingers on the same fret there, but just do it slow. And then we're back to the 8th fret 2nd string. And then back to the 8th fret on the 3rd string. Pretty cool little lick. There's a lot going on in just that tiny little space. And the timing of that, just kind of let it stagger. You can feel that Latin beat. And then we come down to the 10th fret 4th string, 8th fret 4th string, and then back to the 10th fret on the 4th string. And then I kind of resolved it on the, see, it would be the 8th fret 3rd string, like that. So, now, before you move on, just take that one lick, and even if you have to play it along with a jam track over and over again, I could play that lick all day and just do variations of it. So fun. Okay. Okay, so from the beginning we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I went. Okay, and that all happened on the 2nd string. I started on the 8th fret, hit that twice, and then it came up to the 11th fret 2nd string and did a series of full bends there. Now this depends on your sustain. So if you're playing with like a more of a dirty channel, more crunch, you may just have to pick that once and just be able to go. But I've got my volume down right now so I can teach this, and so I'm going to have to pick it a few times. But that's just totally up to you how many times you want to hit it. That's what I did. Bend, release, and then I came back down to that 8th fret 2nd string and hit that twice. Now, this is where the song goes into this little, this little driving rhythm thing. And what I'm doing is I'm switching from the C minor chord down to an F. But I'm going to play it up here. And what I'm doing to play that is I'm barring with my ring finger here, I'm barring the 10th fret, just the first 4 strings, and I'm playing strings 4, 3, and 2. It's an F chord, but played up here. So, and then I went ahead and just made the bar, hit the 4th string, so that I can go dot, 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 dot. So it's a downstroke, another downstroke, down, up. So down, down, up, 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 down. That's how you do it. Some of you may want to do all downstroke. I don't know how you're wired, but what makes the most sense is to do this down, up, alternate strumming. And just practice it. Do it real slow. 2, 3. But that's what I did. And then I slid up here and went. Kind of cool. And what I'm doing for that, I'm just minor pentatonic scale for all those notes. I'm starting here on, I'm sliding up to the 10th fret 4th string, 8th fret 3rd string, and then I come to the 10th fret 3rd string. Those are your first 3 notes. And then watch this. There's another hammer on, pull off, hammer on, pull off, hammer on. So, but it happens quickly. Now that looks complicated if you're new to this, but you'll find that this is really pretty effortless once you get comfortable with that. So, and then I'm back to the 8th fret 3rd string, and then I barred here on the 3rd or on the 8th fret and played 2, 3, and then the 10th fret 4th string. So it goes. There's the notes. Now I heard Carlos Santana do that on a live recording. I don't remember what it was, that lick in particular, and I thought, wow, that's pretty cool. It's just different. Especially that. It definitely has a different feel. Something that you wouldn't hear a blues guy do, but he's certainly a blues guy. Okay, and then we're back to this note, 8th fret 3rd string, and now we're going to do the little F chord again. And this time, I did the classic Santana, I don't know if you'd call those 16th notes, but it's where he's just picking it like a mandolin style. And it's just playing the one string, but playing it really fast. And I don't know exactly how many of those I did, but I just tried to alternate pick that one string. Now I'm fretting it here on the 10th fret 3rd string. I started with that note, which is just a note in the minor pentatonic scale. Then I came up to the 10th fret, or sorry, the 8th fret 2nd string, 11th fret 2nd string. Those are the 3 notes I did that one. But it's just, you know, you hear him do that sometimes when he's building to something, and it sounds so powerful. It really does. So, and then the song at this point goes right back to that C minor. And what I did was I stayed in Mixolydian, or I'm sorry, I stayed in Dorian mode and came up here and did a bend. Now, if you're thinking of minor pentatonics, this would be pattern 1, so this would be pattern 2. That's where that note is. Now, normally you wouldn't bend the 2nd string here in pattern 2 to match this note, but look at this note. Where is that? There it is. It's one of those extra notes we added, right? So that's what we're bending to, and that's why that makes sense. Okay? Alright, let's back up and play everything up to that point. That's a lot of information, and you know, I think that would probably be a good place to wrap up this part 1 video. There's a lot more we're going to get into in the part 2, little fast runs and things, but I'm going to save that for the second one. I don't want it to be too overwhelming in this video. So from the beginning, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, there's one other little. I came up here from the 11th fret up to the 13th fret on the 2nd string before I did the bend. And that's a full bend there on the 13th fret 2nd string. Now I know that's probably a good place to wrap up this part 1 video. I hope you've learned something about Dorian mode and how to apply it to that minor pentatonic scale, so that when you're playing a lead, you've got this new place you can go when you're playing, you know, something in a minor key or over a minor chord. You've got something in your head that you can go to. Just add in those 2 extra notes. It'll totally color this in a different way. All right, I'll see you in part 2.